Hey viewers, welcome to another video of the Casual Pro Gamer. This is the conclusions video of the kind of Rise game analysis I've been doing over the past week. We've seen quite a lot of games actually. There's quite a lot of old gameplay available from Vladimir, not a lot of new gameplay unfortunately. By the way, this is the footage from I Am Blah Blah, the one that's playing right now, the World Championships as they called it, but that's a little bit random to me. Anyway, it doesn't matter, it's random gameplay, and you can watch the full video on the Intel Extreme Masters YouTube channel. Yeah, so your position in the lane is, first of all, your starting items as Vladimir should be boots and health potions. That is oh, this is excellent. Oh my god, let me switch to another stream because this is just ridiculous. I wasn't actually paying attention to what was going on, but I did see this eventually, so I don't know how long it was offline already. But it seems that everyone's offline. Oh, there we go. And we have French commentary. Excellent. Shut up. Faites ta gueule. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. We will see more random footage in a minute. So anyhow, yeah, your starting items should be boots and health potions. That way you have the most lane sustain. Follow-up items should be yeah, wards. Every time you go back you should buy wards. At least one, preferably two. And your first item should be Will of the Ancients, so Hextech Revolver into Will of the Ancients. And yeah, I think once you complete that, you can build whatever you feel like. Rabadon's Death Cap seems to be a very good thing to have. Yeah, you basically build AP. Also Ryla's Crystal Scepter, because of the slow, it gives you a real slow instead of only having your Sanguine Pool for a slow. And all in all, that gives you a little more control over your lane. But really, once you get into the late game, you can build whatever you like, whatever you feel is the best item. But it seems that everyone agrees that you do build boots level 2 and the Hextech Revolver first. Yeah, furthermore, your position in the lane. Oh yeah, well, we saw against certain opponents you need to build, such as Talon, you need to build extra armor. Yeah, if you feel the necessity to go a little bit more defensive because your laning opponent is either really fat or just stronger than you are, or you can prevent a lot of damage from them, making it easier to go aggressive while not dying, then you should definitely go for that. I mean, in the end, it's not about how much damage you do, it's about how long you can do the damage and the amount of damage you do. If you can do one burst and then die, that is not very useful. If you can do continuous damage but a little bit less than you would otherwise do when you go full AP, then it is probably more useful to stay alive and do the damage, especially if you're Vladimir, because Vladimir has a lot of sustain, and all of the armor and magic resist you buy is going to result in a lot of increase in sustainability. Yeah, now, well, position in lane. The position in lane seems to be either you go aggressive and then you are between the enemy minions, maybe in your minion line or in the enemy minion line. trying to harass your opponent as much as possible, healing up with your Q, because every time you Q your opponent, you're going to get life back. So even though the minions start attacking you, you don't really care, especially if you have some armor, because then, yeah, the minions don't do a lot of damage to you anyway. But once you level up your Q like 2-3 times, then you heal enough so that the minions really don't do any damage to you anymore. And you can go aggressive on your opponent, and unless yeah, you get ganked by like 2 guys, you should be relatively safe. And it should not really be a problem to stay alive in that situation while doing damage to your opponent. So making it hard for your opponent to farm. Then for harder lane, so if you're having more trouble or if you just like playing defensively, you can do that as well. You just need to make sure that you don't get out pushed, because if your lane pushes, you really have trouble getting the minions, because getting minions at the turret with Vladimir is a really hard thing to do. You're going to lose a lot of them, so you're going to want to use the E really early on to already damage the minions and then pick them off with either your basic attack or your Q. And yeah, if you have a harder lane, or if your opponent really doesn't care about the damage, because, well, he maybe he has a lot of lifesteal, or maybe he can damage you back for more than you can damage him, or yeah, he's someone like Singed and just doesn't care about the damage at all, then you're going to want to stay back a little more, but still want to farm, run in, get an E off every now and then, and try to harass your opponent whenever you can, but don't risk too much damage. Because you can heal up, but if you take too much damage, you're still going to be in range for some of the champions to burst you down. And in the end, that is going to be, well, the thing you want to avoid. You want to keep high health, maybe not full health, that's not necessary, but high health, so that every time you go in and do some harassment, it is actually it's going in your favor. So you're not going to die just because you want to harass your opponent. Then yeah, is that it? Oh yeah, well, the one thing you have and you should really try to do is, once you are, I don't know, level 7 or 9 or something like that, once you have enough levels in your queue and you can push the lane pretty efficiently with your E and your Q, you want to push the lane, and instead of going back home, you want to help out your side lane. So go and gank top or go and gank bottom lane. Whichever is pushed, and if you coordinate that well, you can get some easy kills out of that. And if you can get an easy kill on one of those lanes, you help out the rest of your team. You maybe get an assist or a kill. At least you get some additional money, and by the time you get back in your lane, the minions will have been pushed back to about mid lane, or maybe just your turrets. But if you do it correctly, so you will probably have to practice how much time you need for this, and you will definitely want your laning opponent to be out of the lane for these kind of things. But yeah, once you reach that point that you can push the lane easily and your laning opponent is out of the lane, you want to immediately go for either top or bottom lane, maybe for the enemy jungle, but go and try to get some additional gold. Even if that means pushing the lane against your better judgment, I would say, it is still good to help out your team, and because you are a very strong champion, and if you can keep up the E stacks, so if you can keep that to 4 while you're walking towards the side lane, you will do a ton of damage, as Freak would say. And with that, in addition to whatever the laner already does, so your ally that's already there, you can easily get ganks off. You only have the slow from the pool, so you're not really the best ganker ever. But if you have Rylai's Crystal Scepter, or if your laning partner has a stun or a slow, you should be able to pick up some pretty easy kills. So, anyhow, I think that's it. We have seen a lot of different playstyles, from really aggressive Big Fat GG to really passive Hotshot GG games. And yeah, they all show pretty much the same thing, that Vladimir is a pretty good champion to have. And yeah, Vladimir is really one of those champions that, if played correctly, can do a lot of damage, can stay in lane quite a long time, and yeah, in the end, that's all that matters. If you can stay in lane, if you can keep farming, if you can outfarm your opponents, maybe push them away from the minions, you can yeah, you can win your lane, and by winning your lane, you can give your team an excellent chance of actually winning, and that is what it's all about. So I hope you enjoyed this series, and I will be selecting new champions, so I'm leaving the comments on for this one, and you can put the new champion you want in there. It has to be either jungler or a bottom lane AD carry, and preferably one that's actually played, because I want to get some footage from pro players. So, for example, Caitlyn would be good, Graves, Sivir, although Sivir has not played a whole lot in these, well, in the high ELO matches. Yeah, junglers would be anyone from Maokai to, so Maokai is kind of an, yeah, older jungler by now already. It is still reasonably new, but yeah, I don't want to do Warwick, because Warwick's not really that good at the moment. But it can be, I don't know, Tryndamere. Who else do we have? Shen is currently very popular, I guess. Well, just make up whatever and let me know in the comments, and I will see you guys later.